Hello, and welcome to your Aries season readings. Also, happy Spring Equinox and astrological New Year. So, if you're new here, the way that these readings work is they go by zodiac sign elements. So, you can check the description for the exact timestamps. But we start with fire signs, air signs, water signs, and earth signs. And the way to listen to this is for your sun sign or your rising sign. Or if you have a specific question about an area of your life, you can look at the planet that governs that area or the house and then listen specifically for that sign element. I always suggest just listening to the entire reading because we usually have all aspects and all elements in our birth charts. And if you're brought here and you're listening, then there's probably something that needs to be heard for you. Also, if you're wondering about the specific planets, I do have a video that you can check out that explains those. So let's get into it with fire, air, water, and earth for your Aries season readings. Hello, my beautiful fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Why do I feel like doing a round of applause? Yay, Aries season. Yay, happy astrological new year. Yay, happy birthday, Aries. So I kind of LOL'd when I saw this card because, Aries, fire, passion, movement, right? This is the season, the spring equinox, we're like on the verge of moving and growing, but here's the thing. It's spring, it's not summer, right? It is Aries season. We've come out of this, this season of Pisces, which is the opposite of Aries season, right? When it comes to like the deep feelings and the introspection. And so it's like, and the first thought is like, yes, let's lean into the fire. Let's lean into the passion. Let's go, go, go. But also it is spring. And remember, spring is when we plant the seeds. It's like not quite time yet. And so that's why I laugh when I saw the Hangman, because it's a card of patience and a change of perspective. But here's the thing. Looking at this card, fire signs, it's about spirituality, right? Like this isn't your typical hanged man. Like this person they're coming from the lotus. They have this spiral happening here, all of this, like this very much feels like I hear there is another side of you within that is coming out and blossoming at this time of year. And it's like a change of perspective about yourself that allows other people to see the deeper introspected spiritual sides of you, right? The side of you that has passion for humanity and feels passionate and strong about the things that you feel passionate and strong about, right? But, lots of times when we speak very stereotypical about these signs, but we're talking about the energy that is Aries, energy that is Leo, the energy that is Sagittarius, and how it shows up in certain delivery. This changes where we have it in our placements in our chart, but ideally, like that energy is fire energy, right? So that's what we're speaking to. And when we have fire energy and we have passion and we have this sort of aggression or assertion is the word I prefer when we come across to people. Well, here's the thing. If you might feel like you're asserting yourself, but it's received as aggression, right? Those are very different things. Very different things. Assertion and aggression are very different things. Asserting yourself is putting yourself in charge and taking care of yourself and honoring your boundaries and needs. Aggression is known to be more disrespectful and not be considering other people's feelings, right? And so this is the time for you to allow the switch from that energy so people can really see like, oh, this is a person that cares. This is a person that's, so beyond the surface level that I thought they were. I mean, there is such, Spirit is saying there's such a different layer and there's so many layers to you that are ready to be exposed and ready to come out. Specifically, my eyes are kind of going to this imagery around the head, this triangle. So let's read about what the artist meant by that. Here we go. The Hanged One's cap weaves this energy from the subconscious to the conscious. In the traditional image, the hanged man has his hands tied behind his back, representing total surrender. In this image, his hands are in front, in conscious prayer and meditation, thus expressing dedication to his path that is felt deeply within his heart and soul. The Hanged One is in deep meditation in the watery world of the cosmic womb. Behind his head, the sun shines out, symbolizing the spirit of the divine. Its 12 rays of sunshine and the 12 worlds of the Zodiac. The triangle pointing downward represents water, right? So he's upside down by the cosmic spiral of the divine. So like this card in particular, like I was just saying, it's a different version of the Hanged Man, right? Like this card is saying there are solutions, there are insights, there are ways for you to move out of stuck situations by you tapping into this connection with spirit, this connection with the divine, the connection with the cosmos, you slowing down, right? You are such independent thinkers, fire signs, and you do have the ability to take the higher path and to do the better thing. But there's a different level of you following your higher calling right now. That's you allowing the ego to drop away. You allowing the ego to drop away is how they see it, right? So, sometimes we take on this persona and it's a form of protection, or it's just something that we've grown over time because of things that have happened to us, and it's kind of like what we're known for. And Spirit says like there are old worn out belief systems and thoughts, and there is a way that you're used to being viewed by society and people and friends and family, and you're being asked to be a little more vulnerable and to shed that so you can truly step into this power. So this is like, it's like they say, like, this is your season. This is your new beginning. We have all this beautiful energy coming in with the spring equinox and the fire energy to burn away the sadness and the pain and the things that remained. And I'm not going to go into super depth, but we have a lot happening with just energy behind the equinox in general, but also like the planets and how things are aligning. And Spirit is literally like rapping at your door and being like, this is the greatest new opportunity and beginning for you to change direction on your soul journey and your soul path, and to really, it feels so strong, like embodiment in me. Love, like, yes, do the thing, feel the feelings, set forth, plant the seeds, have the conversation, start to like mold and change and shift into like that, literally, I just keep writing, like that divine cosmic being that you truly are. And then they give me kind of laugh, and they're going to be like, and you're going to get so much pleasure when people who have written you off or made assumptions about you or this and that, when they see this part of you come out, and then they see the fruit of your works in 3, 6 months, 9 months, a year, as the way that it unfolds, and you're going to be like, that's when your little ego will be like, yeah, that's me. I love it. Okay. Again, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Thank you for all that you bring to this world. The energy, we need it. We need the passion. We need the fire. We need the creativity. We need the momentum. We need the people that get the shit done. Some days we need the people that don't give a fuck. We really do. We honor and we love this energy. Happy birthday, Aries. All right, we have air signs, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So it's funny because we're in this space now where the season before us wasn't one of your seasons. The season now isn't one of your seasons. And then the season after this isn't yet one of your seasons. So it's kind of an interesting space for air signs because you're not getting the extra energy of the moon, or I'm sorry, of the sun. But here's the thing. When I do these readings, air signs, I don't ever blow smoke up people's ass. And usually it's about, I don't want to say the readings aren't usually like overly optimistic or positive, right? I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but in this season, the smoke is coming. Do you feel it? Like it's being blown, because Spirit says like the good that's coming now, the good you're feeling now, anything that's happened now that makes you feel good, you grab that chalice and you chug that shit and you fucking ride that wave. Like, take the breath of fresh air, breathe it in. This Aries season isn't just about Aries season. It is about the start of the spring equinox, like I said previously. And it is about this new energy and winter shedding away and the flowers starting to bloom and the leaves starting to grow back. And Spirit says, for fuck's sake, just lean into it. Enjoy life. I mean, literally, like, take any opportunity you can to celebrate and have good times and spend time with your friends and enjoy life. The Three of Cups, this card is just showing the chalices. I actually know it is women still. It is. You can't tell from the back, but it's 3 women, right? That are like dancing around, and they're all adorned, and they're holding up the chalices. My eyes are going to the different color birds in the sky. I'll have to read about that. So it's like, embrace it, right? Like, this is the time to like lean into your loving relationships, lean into your supporting friends, like focus on the parts of your life where your heart is full, where you're happy. You can have the most tragic things happen, and we can allow those experiences to bring us close to people. When I lost my father in my 20s, I was doing research on humor as a coping mechanism for my master's, and well, I started it afterwards. Excuse me. Little throat chakra activation there, huh? And I remember reading specifically when horrible things happen to people, people can go two directions, right? And or they can stay neutral. Some people stay neutral. Some people go in the really bad part, become addicted, have fallouts in life. Some people can make awful things turn into beautiful things. I somehow have had the ability to, over years, make that happen and grow. I just recently lost one of my best friends who was an air sign, actually. And the opportunities, even through that pain, to like reflect about life and to remember the good times with these people, to embrace, the people that I've been talking to and connecting with, and the people that you might see in celebrations about this person. And there is such an opportunity to look at the awful, horrible shadow parts of life and the things that have happened, and to still choose to try your hardest to find any good that come out of this, even if it is so much as like, I don't want that to be me, and so let me bring back the spark to my own fucking life. Like, I mean, there is such a strong underlining energy around this, where it is choosing this energy over the pain and not letting the pain consume you, because again, like, this is the beginning. This is a fresh start. Like, you have the opportunity to wake up every day and try your best to change your perspective. Now, just like the ocean, and just like, the 3 moon cycles at the bottom, like, we're gonna go through cycles. We're gonna have waves. We might have them all in a fucking hour. We might have them in a day. We might have them in a week. But Spirit says, like, in the meantime, like, grab on to like any carefree, lighthearted life, like full of life moments, like laugh, seek pleasure. It's like we need to be reminded that no matter what all the shit show that is going around, like, really, like, if we go within our soul, like, we know that, like, we are alive. We chose to be on this earth during this time, and there are such small, beautiful things that we can really grasp onto to remember how beautiful life is. A couple weeks ago, the orange tree in my backyard, it's, we had to take all the oranges off it, right? Because it's past the season. And it's like, oh no, we don't have any more oranges. That sucks. And then you know what happens the next day? The next day, I opened the back door. What is that smell? I mean, almost instantly, it was blossoming. And then for the next 2 weeks, the backyard was filled with the most beautiful smell ever. And I got to sit and watch these beautiful, happy bees and hummingbirds just eating their little hearts out. And so in a blink of an eye, we thought, well, that's so sad, that's over. And then Pachamama and Earth and Spirit the next day were like, it's not, no, what do you mean? It's just a new beginning. It's just another cycle. Another cycle that's helping feed the earth and feed the creatures of the earth. And like, it's the cycle of life, right? And so there's something about that too, of remembering that like everything is a cycle, and everything comes and everything goes. And even if you've, lost a pet, lost a loved one, lost a relationship, lost a part of yourself, it's like a reminder that like that is part of the cycle of life. And in the end, everything circles back around, and we all connect again. We all see each other again. And so, air signs, I leave you with this. Let's see this. Oh, wow. The 7 hummingbirds represent the open chakras flowing gracefully with harmony and transcendence. The triple goddess symbol above represents the spiraling cycles of external life, because life on this earth does not end, right, when we leave these human bodies. So anyways, I'll go back to saying, I'll leave you with this. Try your best in every day to do something that brings you joy, or to try to find joy in the moment. And when you're sad about a loss or anything horrible, just try to remember, switch your energy, let yourself be sad. And then after you sit in that, and after you feel and transmute those emotions, remember something good, hear that person's laugh, taste that food they used to make you, and allow yourself to feel joy, because you're still alive on this earth, and you still have things to do to help people and to make the world a better place. So air signs, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, happy Aries season. All right, my beautiful water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So we just moved out of Pisces season. So happy belated birthday to you guys. I love this card. I say for us because I am a Cancer stellium, right? So a lot of water signs. My chart is 40% water. I've actually been pulling this card a lot. When I first was introduced to this deck, this card was pulled for me. So I love that it keeps coming up. My eyes are already going to like the hearts and the roses and like whatever this little angel down here is. There's just a fairy that's just kind of like watching. Oh yeah, there's fairies. It's almost like they're like gifting stuff. I love that. So this is very similar to, it's funny because I started off air signs in a positive way and it kind of like transitioned into like have the balance between the good and the bad. And this is a very similar card where it's like, this is a card of success and abundance and wealth. And like, I mean, look what's happening in the card. If this is happy home, happy life, stability, family structure, like even like the kids, what is she? She has a little, or one of them, the little boy has a little white rose. It's the same kind of energy where it's like, you've worked so hard and you work so hard and you feel so much for so many people and you do all these things. And the spirit just says like, sit in and look around and like, know and trust that like you have brought in beautiful things into your life and you have manifested these great things. And spirit's it's almost like you refuse to accept those because you focus on all this other shit coming in, that it's like you're being like naive. And if you would just stop and realize and look around at all the really beautiful, great experiences you've had and your ability to manifest, even if it's the bad shit, you still did that, right? And like, advancements in jobs and, maybe you got like your soul pet or like whatever it is, but spirit says like we got to learn how to get grounded and to like shed all of like the painful emotions and things that we feel so much, because like you have been rewarded and like spirit wants to consider to reward you, right? Like this is about like finding balance, right? Like we have to find the balance between living in the spiritual world and all those feelings and like our earthly desires and being rooted and grounded, have appreciation for the things that we have now, right? Again, let's see. It just feels like too, like this is a really strong time for like a connecting to family, whether it's your friends that are your family, whether it's part of your community, whether it's like your actual family, right? Yeah, it just feels like, Mother Earth, like connecting, like there's just like this need for you to like get outside of yourself and to not be the mother of these groups, but like go to these places where you feel like you have this role and you have this community and you have this family and you're building something together and you're working with something together. Let me read some part of what it's talking about. The young boy holds a white rose of purity and divine intellect. The castle represents the kingdom in our hearts and the everlasting spiritual home. The red rose garden symbolizes life on earth, balancing the earthly desires and spirit. There's the mix between earth and spirit, right? The pinnacle symbolizes the physical being. The pinnacle heart, the heart at the top of the pinnacle, speaks on receiving divine love and giving love to the world around you. It doesn't say anything about the little fairies. I thought maybe it would say something about the fairies in there. I feel like maybe the fairies, to me, like that represents like the idea of like how we have like these little helpers and we have these extra entities and things around us. And my eyes are even going to the key. I don't know. Let me just... It feels like you have so many tools and you have so many aspects of the way that you can reach out and ask for help from spirit. And they just keep talking about like your ability to manifest things and to like, like connect with the fae and ask for the fae to come and do things. And, it's like they showed me like this little magical tool that you have on your altar that was like an ancestors. And it's like you can connect with your ancestors. And this feels very different when I do this reading versus the previous ones that I've done, because I can like feel the detachment in myself where it's like there's so many things and I don't know where to choose and I don't know where to go. And that's like where spirit is like, because you're so connected to all these people and all these places and all these things. And so how lucky are you? Right? Like this idea of like, this is not a curse, this is a blessing. And you have to like The Spirit is literally saying, like, this is, you have the Ten of Pentacles. This is you. You have access. You have the fucking key right there. You have the magical abilities to connect with the fairies around you, right? Like, you have the ability to understand life on earth and to feel things and to know things in your body, but still be connected to spirit. And my God, how lucky are you? How lucky are you? There is a shift of perspective in that. And it's like, it's funny because like when I really start speaking it and I really start feeling it in my body, and it's just like, yes, put your feet in the fucking earth. Watch the hummingbird eat. Have that moment, that 30-second divine connection where you take the deep breath in and you smell the goodness of the earth and you feel that connection to spirit and being in your human body, right? And then you get in your car and somebody flips you off and you start crying. You know what I mean? Or you open up the internet and you read shit and it's like, go back to those moments. Spirit says we always go back to those moments where we connect our body to the earth and we connect to spirit and we remember who we are on this earth. And who we are in spirit and who our like higher self is. And remember that we are this divine, amazing higher self creature who is just having this beautiful human life experience. And part of the beauty is the pain because it reminds us of how much we've loved. And it reminds us of the cycles of life and how lucky are we to understand those things about life, right? So water signs, go put your feet in the grass, look up to the sky, have a moment of gratitude and joy. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I love you. All right, my wonderful earth signs. I love this card for you. This is such a beautiful card. Just like the 10 of Pentacles, I often have been pulling this card a lot, and she came up when I was first introduced to this deck. So we are earth signs. We are Taurus. We are Virgo. We are Capricorn. Like, you are the Queen of Pentacles. I say we because I'm 40% Earth, right? And this embodiment, right? It's weird because it's like all the readings are kind of flowing together and all the energy kind of flows together. This queen, she rules the earth and she rules, the outdoors and the element and the grounding and all of those things that we just talked about. And she has a deep love and respect for not just earthly things, but like the ability that earth has to ground us and in how earth speaks to us and the tools on earth and the magical places on earth. This is kind of particular, but if there's a spiritual place or sacred lands that you have been wanting to go, earth signs, like go connect, you will feel it. They show me these like ley lines. This is pretty specific. And I'm not familiar with it, but I am. There's two different things. It's like somewhere on the East Coast, there's like these crystal grids underneath the earth. And then there's this other grid that I'm thinking of that goes along. And it's like you're standing above it and you're like sucking the energy up from it. And then they give me a place like, like in Northern California where the Lemurians are. What's that forest? These are like sacred places, right? But it's giving me different than the sacred places that I go, say in Arizona, where I stand on this land where, the indigenous people lived and they did all this magic. This is like actual earth places where it's like an earth grid where like, like say Joshua Tree, California, and you're standing right there and holding on to that tree, or like Sedona and you're holding onto the tree. So this is more about connecting physically with these energetic places within the earth, not necessarily going places where there is a lot of energy, the difference, right? And so that came in very strong, very immediately. So whether it's something that you did and you're like, Spirit is like, yes, something came from you there. Yes, it changed you. Or if you have a draw to do that, earth signs, it's like you're connecting back to like a divine part of who you truly are, right? Because like you are that earth energy, you are that Queen of Pentacles. There's this strength that the Spirit is speaking, this strength over you, and this reminder that like you're a healer. And again, this same kind of energy of the water signs where like you know how great God is, if you will, and you know how great powerful Spirit is, and like you have this ability to like embrace this. And it just feels like a very magical, like right now, like Spirit says, like, it's like snap our fingers, step into the magic, step into like the magical being that you are. This is even thinking back, this was kind of a theme with fire signs, right? And so I think this month is really speaking to just in general, not just because of where, the beginning of the astrological New Year's that is Aries season is like everybody has this opportunity to like be embracing this power, be stepping into this power, like, manifest your wealth and the things that you want. Remember, like, the parts of you that are generous and honest and that you can ground other people, like using those are your superpower, right? Be ready for new relationships to unfold, new experiences with love for food and sensuality. And like, maybe there's like a new way that you're like exploring touch on your body. And like, I get regular massages because I work out. They're for maintenance, not for pleasure. And my girl was like, hey, let me try this touch scratch thing on you. And she did it. My nervous system has never been so relaxed in my life. I have never been so relaxed in my life. I was like, what was this witchery, right? Like, it was a new form of like, it wasn't sensual, right? But like that, like feeling in my body. So, trying to embrace and finding something that makes you go, ah, that feels so good, right? So if you've been wanting to explore trying something, we're not even just talking like sexually with a partner, we're talking about like you've been drawn to like, maybe I want to do acrobatic yoga. Maybe I want to do Tai Chi. Maybe I just like really feel like I need to start stretching every day. Maybe I need to put my hand on my heart and my other hand on my belly and do breath work. But there's something about really connecting with your body and feeling things within your body to like remind you of what a powerful being you are. I wanted to read about some of the imagery. I'm just going to read the whole thing actually. She sits in a sacred grotto on the triple goddess throne of the apple tree. The apple tree is linked to the mystical land of Avalon. The apple tree symbolizes love, good good health, faith, gratitude, happiness, and magic. Surrounding her are heart-shaped rocks. The waterfall symbolizes the healing love that is ever flowing. Her crown is made from ivy and columbine flowers, and with an iris at her crown chakra. A necklace of columbine. I've read this before because I remember not knowing how to read that word. Covers her throat, and her open iris lays top her heart chakra. Columbine is associated with the Holy Spirit, transcendence, and hope. The iris symbolizes faith, love, and wisdom. In her garden grows foxglove, fairy flower, delphium, joy, tranquility, and divinity. Mushrooms associated with the fairy realm, magic, and transformation. White buttercup lilies, innocence and purity. Dandelions, hope, wishes to come. The red salamander symbolizes transformation, intuition, and spiritual awareness. Again, this whole theme for everybody is a spiritual awareness right now. The snail has a spiral shell bringing expanding consciousness, patience, and endurance. And the sleeping fawn in the queen's lap, my favorite deer, symbolizes safety, innocence, and gentleness. The sleeping bear cub brings dreaming, introspection, and meditation. And the fairy spirit, so now we know this for the other card, symbolizes the magic and love that one can bring into their life. The Queen of Pentacles mandala holds the power of nature. The star in the center emanates the source of spirit unfolded into nature, always creating and manifesting miracles of love. Earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, do not forget your power. You have so much power within you. You have so much power to feed from the earth and to grow and to make things happen, and allow that power to come within you and push out. And people will see you. Abraham Hicks talks about when people get in alignment and they just do things different, people will be like, what are you doing? What's happening? That's how people could see you. And that's how you can start moving through life. And there's something about you that will radiate out and ground people. And people just look at you and they'll be drawn to you in like this mystical, magical way. They don't even know why. I love you, Earth signs. Goodbye. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure that you also check out my March readings that are done in the same style and subscribe so you never miss out. I do these readings every month at the beginning and every month at the end when we change zodiac seasons. Thanks for being here.